no damn business. If I'd have been there, he wouldn't have done it.
Good grief, we didn't mind it.
A young boy that never was drove before and couldn't swim a stroke, he had no business. He had lots of older men to do that.
Poor Alec now.
Just ugly.
Eh?
Just ugly.
Well, he was just done it first. More first. The ones that went to get on the load, that's all. First one that went to get on was Harvey Thompson. He thought he was off for smart. And he told him to get off. Well, he hadn't told him to get on in the first place. And then I'll show you it was like. There was 3.
Was there?
And sure he was good and stuff. But he couldn't swim either. But he was good and stuff.
He says, you get back to it.
He told me to get on. Our boat got away on us, and there was a wind. It was a headwind, you see, but the boat was on the far side, the boom was taking it away. And he picked out a little cedar and told me to get on, and I got on. He said, watch yourself. He asked me, did I think it was me? And I said, sure. Well, I'd have hung off the cedar anyway, I tell you.
Eh?
I'd have hung off the cedar anyway. We were setting the boat down below Calabogie, right down not far, about, I'd say about an acre below the bridge in Calabogie. And our boat, you know, the oarsmen, they're facing up that river, going down, and we as good a boatsman went down that river, same Charlotte. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure it was Joe Gonny's Joe that was holding the stern, he was a good one. And there was 2 phones on then, Jack Dillon and Jack McDonald, Johnny's father. And they were coming to the old winch, and there was some pretty good sailor stuff. And we were sure the old winch was flat, you know, would take in a lot of water. We were watching it, and they just turned around to take a look too. She was in the bow. And when he turned back, he was broadside in the cellar. And over we went. And we all went out, and I come right around, and I went right back into the boat, on top of the boat. And went down about a half an acre further and over run again. And I come on, in the boat then. The boat was full right down. Because, and they had a hold of the bowlines, swimming along the bowline. See, until he caught the bowline, when he get one of them cellars, he had it. Tried his best to keep out from him as much as he could. But as soon as he got down so far, he grabbed the bowline. He hung on to the bowline. He was all right then. And he kept telling me, stay with the boat, stay with the boat. He knew I couldn't swim. And then there was a couple of the rest just made it no more, and they could swim good.
Generally,
They all left the boat, but
generally a good swimmer gets drowned. You just had to.
That was a good swimmer, they say, that got drowned at below Calabogie. There, where his minus clothes and boots hung there. They waded in for their second lunch that day. They all waded in, see. Them not, most of that long rapid, you waded from rock to rock. And a lot of places. And they waded in, had the lunch and waded back out. He was a little below the other bunch, but they had waded in there. But he's taking cramps. They say he could swim like a fish.
Alex Johnson, that first year he was on with us, the year we went to Rockingham. He couldn't stand on a barn door.
You know, the sea was awful.
Eh?
The sea was awful, comes and he
Oh, I
sleeps
bet
all right.
you, not much snow on the logs, and I bet you swum that creek 5 or 6 times that day. He'd went home on Eddie and Willa made fun of him when he went away. They said he'd be back the next day. He was cool. But that fella in the flat rapids, when we'd get the logs off one rock, he'd give us his peavy. We'd wade on around, get down to the next. He'd swim to the next. I seen him going in them cellars and he'd roll them around like that 3 or 4 times before we pitch him out.
He got to be a good driver, Alan.
Oh, he got good, I'll tell you. Before he went down there, he could stick with the log with pretty or anything.
I see them rolling the log in the picture there, my God, you can see the log going. We used to roll logs down there, you couldn't see the log at all. You wouldn't see the log at all, we couldn't see it ourselves. With the water, bringing the white water around. And that spring that Tom sent me down there, that's all Alex and I used to roll logs. Steady.
You say you got a picture of him on the log?
No.
You do?
No. I haven't got a picture for Alex at all anyway. But we had a postcard, I couldn't just go and get it here, with a bunch in there at the mill across the...
Michaelbush.
Yeah. There was Archie Rosenflat and...
Archie Rosenflat was in this summer.
Aye?
Archie was in to our place this summer.
Yeah, he told me. And Colin McPherson and Duncan You remember the horn? And Huey was in it. And there was Jack Briscoe and Brian Briscoe and Jack McDonald, that's Johnny's father, and Jim Solomons and Phil Platts and Tom Love and Noah Rowley and there was more than that in it. Oh, poor old Bill McCoy. Was taking it. Oh, good. It was quite clean, you know, that one. You could tell every one of them.